G'day.
How you going? I'm Barb.
And I'm Paul, and this is Travels with B&P. Today we're taking you on a voyage around Australia.
We entered Australia in Cairns, on the northeast corner of Australia, traveled down the eastern coast, finishing up with a sail in to Sydney Harbour at sunrise. Stunning.
We then sailed down further south and down around the corner and headed west, across the southern border of Australia, visiting several cities, some of which we'd visited before.
We rounded the southwest corner of Australia and headed up to Fremantle and Perth, and finally Broome, our last stop in Australia. We saw amazing sights. Australia is a beautiful country and we hope to come back. Hope you enjoy our travels. Today we're in Cairns, Queensland, Australia, here at the ship terminal, and rumor has it that there's some breweries nearby, or one, or two, or three.
So we're going to go out and see what we can find, maybe have a few beers, and maybe see even some lunch.
Here we are at Sauce Brewing Company in Cairns, Australia. Our first stop in Australia, and we found a brewery. Lucky us. We have 2 flights here, ranging from a session IPA all the way up through a cold brewed IPA and a couple of hazy IPAs. Cheers.
And here we are in the Coral Sea Brewery, having a couple of IPAs, talking to Frank, the owner, and just having a nice afternoon, tasting some beers. Cheers.
We're at Hemingway's Brewery having a couple of local beers, Pitchfork Betty and Doug's Courage. Love the way they name their beers here, and cheers.
Anyone know a little bit about Aboriginal culture? A little bit? So today we're going to take on a journey, our story. We're going to introduce you to the Nawagi culture, how our people lived here for thousands of years. In this area there are 9 Aboriginal nations. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And diversity, as from Germans to Italians to French. Inside there are 9 Aboriginal nations. We've got Nawagi here, we've got Bugabarden, we've got Warramay.
When people come from one part of Australia to another part, we welcome them to country through smoke and through ochre, which is paint, and through language. So verbally, we tell you you are welcome. Vincent's going to go around, walk around, put the smoke on you, and then if you've got any hats or glasses, when he comes around, he's going to put ochre, which is our paint that we make from the ground, and he will put that on your face, so our country is on you, so our people can recognise you and see you. Yeah, the didgeridoo, you would have heard me playing it. Yidaki is that's its actual name. Piece of timber that's hollowed out naturally by white ants. They're the best sounding didges. So the didge only has 2 holes, here up the top and then down the bottom. Usually the wider side here is where all the sound comes out. So you don't blow this side. It is a men's only instrument. So women are forbidden to play it, and in some tribes, they can't even touch this thing.
Today we took a tour to an Aboriginal outback cattle station. The chief welcomed us with a smoke ceremony and painted our faces with ochre.
That shows that we've been welcomed to the area and we were free to walk about.
They showed us some of the tools that they use for fashioning boomerangs and other instruments and weapons that they use.
Then we're on our way back. We stopped at the Frosty Mango for afternoon tea. Still got about an hour to go on the bus. I think people will be napping on the way back.
Hi, we're in Airlie Beach, Australia. today we have a different kind of transport from the ship, a different kind of tender. It's a catamaran, padded seats, large capacity. I'm not sure why they're using this, maybe because it's a long ride to the disembarkation point, but I'm going to enjoy it. So here we are on a return trip from Airlie Beach back to the ship. As you can see, we are on the standard ship tender for our return trips. We've had a great day ashore and everybody's returning to the ship. So here we are on the locally provided tender, a catamaran. We're sitting outside. Pretty nice. Breezy day. Very breezy. Hanging on to the hat. Because he lost his. Hi, today we are at Tangalooma Island Resort. It's located on Morton Island, just off the coast of Australia from Brisbane. Beautiful little island, lots of bungalows and cabins, a total resort area here. You can stay, you can eat, you can play. Lots of water sports available, kayaks, paddle boards, scuba, snorkeling. Just off the coast here, they have several sunken ships to build an artificial reef to protect the beach, but it also has turned out to be a great place for snorkeling and looking at the fish. G'day, mate. Today we're at the Australian Zoo north of Brisbane in the state of Queensland, Australia. This zoo was established by Steve Irwin and his parents. They have done a really great job of setting up natural habitats and natural wildlife together. It doesn't feel like a zoo, feels like we're the visitors and the animals are in their natural home. All kinds of animals, Australian animals, African animals, snakes, crocodiles, even saw an American alligator. So we're having a nice day here at the zoo. Thanks for joining us.
Nothing like a feral pig giving you the world's best intro. Now, here we go. He's going to set himself up. Have a look. There we go, Murray. Come on, mate. There we go. There you go. Nice work, Murray. What an absolute weapon, eh? Give it up for him. Come on, go like Zach said. Come on, there we go. There's another bit of a strike. Nice work, mate. How cool is that for you guys in the front row? Awesome.
It's Monday, March 6th, coming into Sydney Harbor. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun's just come up. This is the skyline of Sydney.
Okay, so we're ready to board the ferry. They run these ferries on a tight schedule and pull up, disembark the people, embark the people, and pull away. Good morning. These are our friends Tracy and Daryl, who have come to Sydney to visit us while we're here and take us touring around town. Yeah. Nice view of the harbor bridge as we take the ferry underneath it on our way to Circular Quay. So one of the things you can do in Sydney is climb the harbor bridge. You can see some people up there near the flags. They suit you up and put you in a harness so you don't fall off and take you for a hike up the bridge. The pedestrian mall in Manly. Lots of shops. What do you want to buy? It's probably here. Sitting here at Cabbage Tree Bay on Manly Beach. Beautiful area, nice looking beach. Pretty high surf today. They have strong current warnings out, but lots of people enjoying the water and the sun and the sand and walking along the beach. We're on the ferry back from Manly to Circular Quay, and you know, my dad always said it's going to be a good day if you see somebody you know, and wouldn't you know it, we saw somebody we knew. Tony and Lisa are here in Manly riding the ferry back with us. It's going to be a good day because we saw somebody we knew. Hi, we're on Phillip Island. It is about 70 miles south of Melbourne. Having a walk about town. We're down on the beach side along the wharf. Gonna take a walk and see what we see. It's a nice walk. It's cool and breezy today, but we're still enjoying the sunshine. And a nice beach view. Birds, lots of birds. People watching. Today we're in Kennesaw on Kangaroo Island. Kangaroo Island is off the southern coast of Australia. It is the third largest Australian island.
So I think the plan for today is we're going to try and do an ocean safari. And an ocean safari is head out on a boat and see what kind of wildlife we can find. Maybe some cormorants, some fur seals, maybe some dolphins, and who knows what else. So ride along with us and let's see what we find.
Let's go. Okay, we're on board. Grab a seat. Drop my bag. Ready for our ocean safari.
Shallow Bay is actually sleeping. So unlike us, they obviously don't have a nice warm bed to go home to. They have to keep moving all the time. Crustaceans like crab and crayfish, lobster, get a very bad name amongst the crayfishermen. So these guys are pretty sneaky and
We are in Albany, Western Australia. Nice community. We came in after a very rough night, early morning. Huge swells, I would say 5 to 6 meters, maybe not that much, maybe I'm exaggerating, but 5 to 6 meters, and wind right on the nose, so we were doing a lot of bouncing. The spray was so high, it came completely up to our balcony, so on the 6th deck. So that was pretty impressive, and we were hanging on to the bed. We came to town, did a little walk around, not a lot of nice shops. Most of them closed at 6 o'clock. So we're headed back to the ship after having some pizza and a glass of wine.
Hello, today we're in Bunbury, Western Australia. We've stopped at the Froth Craft Brewery here in Bunbury for beer tasting. We had 6 flight beers, all IPAs of different styles and different hoppiness, even a double dry hop IPA. So enjoyed it. Now it's time to see what else there is to see and do in Bunbury.
Hi, we're here at Victoria Key in Fremantle, taking a walk along the harbor, and rumor has it there's a brewery ahead, so we are on the Great Australian Beer Hunt.
Today we're in Fremantle, Western Australia, just a little bit outside of Perth, and we're standing in front of the Shipwreck Museum. Not a museum I'd necessarily want to be featured in.
But it was interesting. We also toured the Maritime Museum here and learned a lot about the history of sailing and exploration in Western Australia. Beautiful town, nice sunny day. We discovered a couple breweries, and so we stopped. Nice cold beer and good food.
Thanks for joining us.
So here we are, walking back to Seabourn Sojourn. I think we've put in our steps today, but glad to get back to our home away from home. Nice day in Fremantle, and we now have 3 sea days before we get to Broome. Oh, hi, Paul.
Hello and welcome. Today we are in Broome, Western Australia, the last Australian port we're going to visit here in our world cruise. The tides in Broome are 10 meters, a little over 33 feet, so it's a challenge to get the ship in, and they have to keep moving the gangway between deck 4 and deck 5. And when we got in our cabin this morning, we looked out and we're on deck 6. It's completely even with the pier. We're having a great time in Broome. Just stopped at Matzo's Brewery in Broome for a pale ale and a little dish of calamari. And of course we had to taste the chili beer made with bird's eye chilies, and boy is it hot. I can still feel it 20 minutes later. Anyway, enjoying our time in Broome, and we look forward to seeing you on the next leg of the journey.